Gabrielle Anderson. Today we are going to look at stocking your playroom, but on a budget. How do you do it? How do you get so many toys, therapeutically friendly toys in your playroom and not break the bank? That's what we're going to talk about today. So one of the first things we're going to look at is how to use the calendar, how to use holidays to save you some money, and where to shop for those kinds of things. Before we do that, I want to talk about some of the name brand kind of stores. It might be a no-brainer, but it's worth saying that every time I walk through a major craft store, like AC Moore or Michael's, I check to see if their pads of paper are on sale. I check to see if construction paper is on sale. Some of the art supplies that I use every time I go, because chances are something's going to be buy one get one half. So that's what I tend to do. Home Goods is really nice for some of the little kid friendly furniture that you might want to have in your playroom. Stools like this are so nice to have, especially if you're like me and you have some of your things a little bit high up. Having a stool that's kid friendly and looks super cute can be nice. And guys, they really weren't that much money. So getting something that looks really cute, I think is worth the investment, and something that's made to last and that you're not going to have to buy again really soon is really worth the investment. During the fall, I like to hit some of the Halloween stores. Now, honestly, that's not going to be very inexpensive to hit some of those pop-up Halloween stores that show up. However, if I need something, like I've been struggling to find some handcuffs, some durable, not ones from the dollar store, because again, I don't want to fill the landfill. I don't want it to break in 3 months. I want it to be nice, and I want it to be sturdy. Sometimes I struggle to find just the right Nerf or foamy kind of sword, but when you go to the Halloween stores, it helps. For costumes, if I really need like a police or firefighter or something like that, I'll go to Home Goods or TJ Maxx right around the holidays, because chances are they'll have it kind of cheaper. Now, after the holidays, I like to go to my local craft store. Where I live, it's Michael's and it's AC Moore. And I find these on major sale. If you go immediately, or maybe even the tail end of Halloween, it depends when you guys start to go on sale. As soon as stuff goes on sale, hit it, because you can find all that kind of stuff really inexpensive. Also in the fall, right before school gets back in session, I like to hit my local stores. Sometimes it's going to be like your Target. Sometimes it's going to be, again, a craft store. But they will oftentimes have back to school sales. So Crayola, I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of a snob when it comes to what brand I use just for the art. Because I find that if I don't use Crayola crayons or markers, it's just not great quality. And this is truthfully my favorite kind of paint. It's Crayola. The other ones I think are just, you can see through them. But I know this whole entire set, I got that buy one get one half because I went right before school started and they had a Crayola sale. Now look at that. That is a vase that I got at my local thrift store. But it works. It's super cool looking and so cheap. Look at that one too. I usually have pipe cleaners in that one. But it was just a $2 vase that I just repurposed. All those came from Home Goods. Guys, I'm so thrifty. I just don't understand spending a ton of money when you can get things that are so much cheaper. This was supposed to be for hairbrushes, I believe, but it keeps my guys all standing. There's nothing worse than having all your guys like toppled over when it looks so messy. Here's another one. Again, you can get these at some kind of discount place like Home Goods. This one was supposed to be for a hairdryer, but it keeps all those little guns and things that the little ones like to have. and more guys. Okay, so let's go into winter. So think about Christmas. Think about traditionally, those who celebrate Christmas think of like Santa gifts. So they're in large boxes. They're for kind of inexpensive prices. You can get a whole stack of puppets from Costco. You can get a whole pack of food from maybe Target or Kmart. Oftentimes you can get a kit that has a baby doll and a baby blanket and a baby bottle. Think about these kinds of things that come in kits. So you might find an aggressive kind of kit. Maybe you would find some handcuffs and a gun, or so be thinking about those kinds of gifts and be hitting up your stores right before the holidays, because that way you can get that stuff a whole lot cheaper. This is an example of what is really supposed to be a mitten tree, but I repurposed it as a puppet tree. And I have two. I have one for animals and I have another one for people. So it's great. Now look at this amazing shark puppet. Isn't he super cool? We went to the beach off season and one of the beach stores had major sales, and this guy was major sale. Just be creative and try to notice what's going on around me and can I find a good deal. Christmas is also a good time to find just different kinds of things. So instead of having a rug in the middle of my playroom, I have this little guy who's kind of like a cushion. Those little ceramic houses, I mean, I may have paid $2 or $3 a piece for them. They were at my local drugstore right around the Christmas holiday, and I just stocked up on them. I also had a church, so I keep that with the religious shelf, a school, a courthouse. So whether or not you celebrate Christmas, it's a really good time to be looking around your local stores for some deals. So let's talk about springtime, those little chicks I get right around Easter. You can get them at the grocery store, you can get them at your craft store. I like to use them to create habitats. Let's think about what this chick might need to feel safe, well taken care of, supported, etc. Sometimes we just make the chicks with pom-poms, but it's nice to have them on hand. I also like to have those feelings faces eggs. Now again, I can see these in my grocery store or the craft store, but I love them. It makes storytelling about our emotions really kind of fun. And then we go on an Easter egg hunt and look for the different emotions. They're super cute. So I guess next is summer. I'm not going to go into summer a lot because when I think of summer, I think of yard sales. And I have an entire video on yard sales that I want to share with you. Some serious tips and ways to really stretch your dollar, but also ways to make some toys very age friendly and gender friendly. So wait for that kind of video because you're going to really enjoy it. So even if you're not in charge of your waiting room, maybe you could be in charge of just a small tiny corner where you can find something appropriate. We have a little tea set, we have some art supplies, but also these books are nice to have out because this is right before school, so we have a bunch of books about school. Where do you want to guess I got most of these books? Yard sales. I like to have those out there because it's nice for the siblings who are waiting in the waiting room. Sometimes if the child is a little bit early, mom might read them a book or dad might read them a book. So it's nice. I'll have snow day books in the winter, or Valentine's Day books, or Hanukkah and Christmas books. And so I try to keep different seasonal options out there just to make it feel fresh. You want your waiting room to feel fresh. So even if you don't have anything to do with how it's decorated, maybe you can ask if you can have a little tiny kids corner. In the beginning, I was fortunate enough to share my space with a colleague. So the two of us sort of chipped in together and we got the toys that way. But just get the basics. I mean, when I first started out, I didn't have a really fun playroom. I had one room where I saw adults, teens, and kids, and I was hiding things under the couch. I was hiding things behind the chair. I was repurposing some furniture. Sometimes that's what you really need to do in the beginning, right? So cut yourself a break. I urge you to not buy cheap toys. You don't want to fill the landfill with your toys that are going to break in a couple of months. You want things that are going to last and be durable, and kids get attached to them. They really do. So if you stop having that very special gun, sometimes kids get a little bit upset. So this is a really nice way to buy quality, but to also save yourself some money. Good luck. Good luck on supplying your playroom, because it's such a fun career to have. And I think it's a lot of fun along the way to just be picking up things as you see them in order to stock your room the way you like it.